Hello and welcome back to, welcome to, today I'm doing something a little different. I'm trying a new format for this series. What I was thinking is I talk over and I have some gameplay in the background. I wanted to try that. So, oh, today I am showing off Star Wars Battlefront II. Now, Star Wars Battlefront 2, I've got a lot to say about this game. This game has got to be one of my favourite games ever. If you haven't played this game and you're a gamer or you play games or whatever and you're also a Star Wars fan, I don't know what you've been doing, because most people have heard about Star Wars, and near enough quite a few of those people, more than I'd say about, more than half, more than likely all of them, I'm not saying all of them, but just about, would, do actually like Star Wars, who have heard of it. And I'd say quite a few anyway, of people who like Star Wars play games. So, and if you have not heard about this game, then I don't know where you've been, really, unless you're new to gaming, then I understand. But Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a game where, if you haven't heard of it then, is a game where you just play all the battles in Star Wars. You play all the, in Hoth, you can play on Kashyyyk, I think that's how you pronounce it, Kashyyyk. Yeah, I think so. Tatooine, that's part of Tatooine. Endor, all these places you can go and fight battles and basically live the Star Wars universe, which is what I like about it. Now there's my top four things that I like about Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I've already said one of them, the fact that you can play in, you can fight in the battles from the movies like Hoth and Endor and whatever. And also, point two, you can play as Jedi, Sith, bounty hunters. I think it's something like you can play as Yoda, Han Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, Yoda. All these characters from both the prequels and the originals films, all, in one sort of thing. You can just play as them, and there's a special game mode, actually, which will be in the video that you might see later on. I don't know when I'll put it in yet. That, you can play as all the heroes in, one battle. But it's a bit tricky how you get, you've sort of got to spot it and play around a bit, but basically it's when you go into Mos Eisley and there's an assault option, and then when you press that option and then when you play, it will show, you'll be able to play as Han Solo against Anakin Skywalker, or Obi-Wan Kenobi against, so, Obi-Wan Kenobi against, who hasn't he really fought? The Emperor or something like that. Or, Darth Vader against, Princess Leia, or, something like that. But, personally, I think it's a, big game. It's a really good game. I mean, my third point about this being an amazing game is the fact that, it's built around just playing, and it's, you can just hop into it and play. There's not any, you don't have to search for a game or anything, other games, Call of Duty and Battlefield, or, You know, games like that when the multiplayer is just you have to search for games, or Titanfall even. But with this one, like, you can just play by yourself and basically have a multiplayer experience, which is, as a child, when I didn't have Xbox Live or a PC or PlayStation Network or whatever, when I didn't have that, that's why I'd always go to Star Wars Battlefront 2. Because the game is just, you know, you can play in these battles on PC as well. There's a game mode which I think when I play Hoth, you'll see it's like extra large. It's called XL, and it's absolutely amazing. The game mode, it's just basically you go in and, like, you know, it's like 64 players, I think, something like that. You know, on each side, and, like, you know, huge battles, and, like, it's on a couple maps only. It's on Geonosis, Kashyyyk, Endor, no, not Endor, Hoth, and it's on another one as well. I forget. But yeah, so it's just an absolutely amazing game. Personally, I really enjoy it. It's one of my favourite games. It's not the game that got me into gaming, like, you know, gaming is in how I game today, but it's definitely what, you know, got me playing games as such on the original Xbox. And then when I found out it was on Steam, I just got it. I got it as soon as I could, because, you know, of how amazing the game is. Like, I've got so many memories as a child playing it with my dad, and, you know, it's just, I love those memories. Those are some of the best memories of my childhood, playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 with my dad. So, you know, it's definitely worth picking up, or, you know, buying on Steam or whatever. I expect people, if you do get it, people will probably, you know, want to get it on Steam because it's an original Xbox and it's a PlayStation 2 game. So when people play it, they won't be able to speak to their friends on 360 or PS3 or whatever. I don't know about PS3, actually. I don't think you... Anyway, but, like, on Xbox anyway, you won't be able to speak to your friends because it's an original Xbox. But I definitely, if you can get it on PC. That's what I highly recommend. It is such a... You know, it's one of those games that you can see the difference between it on the, like, say, the original Xbox and the PC, especially that extra large game mode. And also, like, the graphics, for some reason the graphics feel much better on PC. Like, they just, you know, the graphics look different. They look a bit more, you know, crisper, a bit sharper, you could say, or whatever. You know, like, you know, you can see a bit more. But, you know, it's definitely a game I'd, you know, pick up. Also, you know, there was a first one, Star Wars Battlefront 1, which I also recommend. But I preferably would recommend Star Wars Battlefront 2 over that. And there's one reason for that. Space battles. In Star Wars Battlefront 2, you can fight in space battles over Tatooine, Hoth, Kashyyyk, Magneto, I think. Something like that. And, like, it's absolutely amazing. The space battles, they did so well with it. You could sort of see they were going for that in the original Star Wars Battlefront, if you've played that one at all as well. Like, I think in Cloud City platforms, I think, like, that was really good. I really enjoyed the, like, you know, fighting in, you know, X-Wings and TIE fighters and all sorts in that. But then they took it to the next level in Star Wars Battlefront 2, which I personally really love that they did. They just took it to the next level and absolutely did an amazing job with it. And also, this game was released in 2006 as well, so, you know, it's a pretty good game, to be honest. I'd still play it. I still play it anyway. It's just one of those games where, you know, I'd go back to. It's not like, you know, some games where you play them once and then you never really go back to them once there's like another one out. But you know, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is different. You know, I'd still go back to it. You know, and it's just a whole lot of fun to play. And I've never played online with anyone on it, and I think I played online a little while ago with a friend, and you know that was fun. You know, teaming up in like X-wing. No, not X-wing. What were we? We were on Hoth, getting in the snow speeders. That was fun. I also like how in Star Wars Battlefront 2 they, you know, keep it to how the actual movies are. Like the snow speeders, you can't fly in space or anything. So, you know, they're only on the Hoth level. You know, they're only on Hoth, which I quite like. That they added. Also, the campaign is another thing in Star Wars Battlefront 2. There is a campaign, but you know, it's adds on to the story, you could say. Basically, it takes, because this I think was one of, I don't know how many games I know definitely Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Wars Republic Commandos. Yeah, Republic Commandos. Those two games, I don't know if there are any others, but those two games are supposed to hype up the next Star Wars game. And it was supposed, not the next Star Wars game, sorry, Star Wars movie, Revenge of the Sith, in 2006. I think they basically did what they did with what they're doing with the next Star Wars Battlefront, made by DICE, so that they're releasing it in the same year to hype up, you know, the movie or whatever. And Star Wars Battlefront 2, like, in the campaign, it's, you know, it's not like completely original, because it's not, you know, it's not totally off, like, you know, it's not anywhere near other campaigns where they try to have a story and, like, you know, you see the start to end, because, you know, that's not how the Star Wars world universe works, is it, with the movies, if you ever see them, if you have ever seen them, I mean, like, you know, you see one movie, but that's not the whole story of Star Wars, which, you know, I quite enjoy, really. And basically this campaign takes place between, well, it takes place just about, you know, it starts in, I'd say, Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, it starts in Revenge of the Sith, and then it finishes in Empire Strikes Back. And basically what they do is some of the fights in, like, on Megiddo, above Coruscant, Felucia, and, you know, all those, you know, you play in those battles as a stormtrooper, and then in one mission, you actually fight, you know, you are one of those clone troopers that go into the Jedi Temple and fight, you know, the Jedi during Order 66, and after that, you turn into the stormtroopers, and, you know, you basically fight, you know, you fight all the rebels and everything, and it's basically filling up the gap between A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith. But then they take it a step further, as in, I forget what it is, what battles, I don't think there's a New Hope, there's a battle in A New Hope, but definitely the Empire Strikes Back. In the Empire Strikes Back, when you're on Hoth, when like Luke Skywalker and stuff are on Hoth, in this campaign at the end, like on the last mission, you play as a stormtrooper on Hoth, which I quite like that they sort of took up to that. I mean, when I played it, I thought they were going to take it up to Endor, but obviously when it says victory, it means victory. It's not like, oh yeah, you know, you won, but you also lost as well. But yeah, I personally really enjoy it. You know, it's an amazing game. I'm just so glad that, you know, with this new contract that Disney have made with EA, that DICE are making Star Wars Battlefront, the next one. I just hope they don't mess it up, because if they mess it up, like, they aren't doing that well with Battlefront 4. Battlefield 4. They aren't doing that well with it. So if they don't do well with Star Wars Battlefront, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be mad, because I know a lot of people. I've heard a lot of times that lots of people that wanted this next Star Wars Battlefront, and now it's finally happening. It's just like, they better not mess it up, because if they mess it up for me, if they mess it up, I'm not very sure how much I'll be able to trust them with games, especially how they've been going recently with Battlefield. But to be honest though, that was the whole EA wanting it to be out and pushing it to be out, so hopefully, let me just switch that now from DICE to EA, because EA are the problem. I forgot about that. But if EA push them to, bring it out, and it's absolutely terrible, it's like Battlefield, I'm not very sure if I'll be able to play an EA game, as much as, and enjoy it as much as I did, Battlefield 3 and stuff, because Battlefield 4, Battlefield 4's good, I have fun on it, it's just, there's a lot of things they needed to do, and EA, sorry, they just keep pushing for games to be out, and the problem is now that they are focusing on all these updates for Battlefield 4, and I'm, scared, because, I'm scared for the next Star Wars Battlefront, because that's coming out next year. Because they wanted it to come out about the same time as the movie, and that's next year. So, it's like a make or break, really. They either pull it off somehow. They've got, I'd say, about a year and a half. I don't know exactly when they'll release it, but if they release it, I'd say they've got about a year, maybe 2. And, so yeah, I just hope they do well and EA don't push the game out again. So, yeah, that's Star Wars Battlefront 2 for you. Went a bit off there with talking about the next one. It's just because this game I really recommend it. I really do. It's one of those games where me personally, could just play it even though it's old, because I know some people do that with games. They have an old game but they still play it. So it's just one of those games that you can keep returning to and you don't have to really worry. So yeah, thank you. So yeah, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So thank you everybody for watching my second welcome to. Yeah, second. First one was Titanfall beta, and now this is my second one. Like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you did enjoy. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.